My name is Dunnits, I do builds and stuff. I've got a Strand stroke Prismatic Warlock build for you today. Absolutely insane build featuring Euphony, Rain of Fire. So much damage, guys, I am not joking you. Extra damage on our linear fusion rifle. A flat out 50% buff straight off the bat. And we're going to give our Threadlings Radiance as well. Extra damage. And look at the state of that. Radiance, anti-barrier Threadlings. Absolutely nuts. And on top of that, I'll be showing you some good ways to get some maximum DPS for bosses and things like that as well. So stay with me. I will break it all down. And the build is so good. I've been running it for a couple of days. And this build has actually took me off icebreaker. So stay with me. I will break it all down. The first part of the build will go with the Euphony. It's got the perk on there, Unwound. Dealing sustained damage with this weapon spawns a Threadling at the target's location. So you just do damage, it's going to continuously spawn Threadlings. It's got the exotic trait on their Spindle. Threadling damage increases this weapon's damage. So it's 2% per stack. So all the unwound Threadlings that you do will increase the damage of the weapon, and it also increases the damage of the Threadlings. So you just keep doing damage and it will just periodically keep hitting the target with all the Threadlings at the location. And it's a really good exotic for long sustained DPS and for ad clearance, which we're going to go into in a moment. And of course, because the Spindle perk works on Threadling damage, you can always pair it with a Threadling grenade, throw that and get a stack up straight away on the Spindle. On top of the Threadling grenade, a Weaver's Call is what you want to be running as well. Every time you put a rift down, it's going to spawn Threadlings that attack enemies. And then on top of that, targets defeated by a Strand have a chance to generate a perched Threadling. So just to get a stack of the Spindle up straight away, put your rift down, or you can throw out your Threadling grenades as well. So you can literally keep spamming that Spindle. And you get the Spindle times 6 just by doing damage times 2 times 4 times 6. It goes up 2% per stack of Spindle. And like I said, you can do it with a linear fusion rifle, or you could just lob your Threadling grenade, put your Weaver's Call down as well, and that will extend the buff even more, give you more Spindle stacks, and it works really nicely. You'll see there, throw that Spindle to start damage off or just to keep your Spindle going. Rain of Fire is the exotic boots. I've decided to go with this one. Air dodge reloads all of your weapons and improves the airborne effectiveness of fusion rifles and linear fusion rifles. Now the air dodge, it doesn't work on Prismatic because I'm not running Icarus Dash. But if you get final blows with fusion rifles or linear fusion rifles, it's going to grant you Radiant. Radiant is a 25% damage increase, plus all the Spindle that you've got going on from your Threadlings as well that you can throw or do sustained damage. So 25% straight off the bat just by getting a kill with this linear fusion rifle feels extremely strong. Just get a kill and that is it. And it also gives all your Threadlings Radiance as well, so even more damage. Fade the Void is an absolutely perfect aspect to run because every time you defeat something with an ability, now whether that's from your Threadling grenade or your Weaver's Call, and is the biggie, Fade the Void Devour will actually proc from the linear fusion rifle, the Euphony Threadlings as well, so you can literally get infinite Devour going just by getting hits on a target, which feels absolutely insanely good. You've obviously then got Weaver's Call, which we've touched on. This gives you more Threadlings as well as your Threadling grenade to keep that Spindle stack going. So just by getting a kill, all what's happening straight away is you're getting Radiant. Straight away you're going to get Devour going, whether that's from your Threadlings that spawn from the Euphony, or you're going to get Devour going from your Weaver's Call or your Threadling grenades. And on top of that, you're building up your stack of Spindle times 10 up to 25, and again that's 2% per stack, all extra damage. And I also run Strand Weapon Surges times 2 as well on this build. So just by getting a kill and picking up an orb, you're getting some absolutely massive damage, and it absolutely chews through barriers. I've started off in the normal Lost Sector, just the 1830 version I think it is. I've got some clips of it working in the hardest Lost Sector as well. I just come in here just to show you the example of it working, and you can see You've got infinite Devour going, you've got Radiance going pretty much all of the time with this build as well, because not only your linear fusion rifle, the Euphony, will proc your Radiant, but so will the Threadlings that spawn out of this weapon as well. So you've literally got infinite Radiance and infinite Devour going. It feels so strong. And again, it's not like a gimmicky build, it is very, very useful, and I love the run and gun type of play that this offers Euphony. Now, a fragment I highly recommend is Facet of Bravery, because every time you get a kill with your grenade, i.e. your Threadling grenade, that's going to give you void weapons, volatile rounds, and it's also going to give you strand weapons, i.e. Euphony, unraveling rounds, which is all just extra damage. Now, because you're on Euphony and you're using that primarily, you're going to get a real lot of dark energy. So this fragment with a void weapon, something like Grid Skipper, will balance that out. So you're going to get loads of darkness energy and quite a lot of light energy as well with your Grid Skipper or something like that. Run a special ammo finder enhancement on there as well, and you're going to get even more special ammo for your Euphony. Facet of Dawn is a really good one to run with your Arcane Needle. This is going to give you Radiant from anywhere where you stood. If you just need to get Radiant instantaneously, get that on. Facet of Hope, while you have an elemental buff, your class ability regenerates more quickly. Absolutely brilliant for your Weaver's Call, because you've already got Devour going all of the time and Radiant. Facet of Bravery, which we've touched on, I highly recommend that one, really good. Facet of Protection, we all know what that does, gives you some seriously good damage reduction when you're surrounded. And another absolutely top tier fragment for this build is Facet of Balance. Rapidly defeating targets with light damage grants melee energy, and rapidly defeating targets with darkness energy, i.e. your Euphony and your Threadlings, is going to give you grenade energy, so you get loads and loads of grenade energy to keep that spindle going via your Threadling grenade. Scintillation, there's another one you can run just for damage, or if you run out with special ammo. Scintillation with Surrounded, or Scintillation with Bait and Switch, or Reservoir Bear, something like that. I think the Laser Painter is other strand linear fusion rifle as well. You could even go with something else if you wanted to, another linear, but I tend to stick to strand because I'm running strand surges on my legs. So just a quick roundup of what's basically happening one more time. Now you've seen everything going on. We've got Radiant going, got Devour going, loads and loads of damage from the spindle, obviously anti-barrier with Radiant, and it works all really good. And I can't stress to you how good just getting Devour is off your Euphony. So again, Euphony will give you Devour just from your Threadling kills from the Euphony, and it will also proc your Radiant as well. Now I've got a little clip here just to show you these Threadling grenades gaining anti-barrier because of the Radiance, and it felt really crazy. I didn't even know it could actually do that until I looked today. So you'll see in this clip here, them Threadlings anti-barrier because the Radiant, they're going to get the extra 25% damage from the Radiant and gain anti-barrier. So it's just like a really nice little extra thing that could save your body in certain situations when you need to get a barrier broken pretty quick. And it's just nice having that extra 25% damage on the Threadlings anyway as a minimum, and again they will go up every time your spindle goes up by 2%. So quick final sort of show off, I'm going to show it working in Onslaught as well. I've used it in Onslaught, I've used it in a couple of GMs. Now the problem is with GMs, it's not that the build is bad, it's just that there's so many other things in GMs at the moment. There's no strand burn or something like that, but for Lost Sector DPS situations it is absolutely crazy. And then next season we are also going to be hopefully getting some strand artifact perks or some strand mods. We might even get some this season, so bear it in mind. We've still got another lot of seasonal artifact perks to come yet. Another one, as well as the Threadling grenades and your Weaver's Call, you've actually got your Strand Super, don't forget. That will also give you a nice stack of spindles straight away. And another thing to mention as well, you don't have to run the Strand Super. You could always run Song of Flame. That's the beauty of being on Prismatic, right? You don't have to stick to that. I just found that Super really good for getting an instant stack of your spindle. Now you'll see in this clip I have stepped it up now. I'm in the hardest difficulty Lost Sector, and I didn't notice any difference whatsoever. It was just an absolute joke, running around with instant Devour, getting loads of damage, throwing my Arcane Needle to keep my Radiance going, and etc. Getting my unraveling rounds for my Euphony, and it all just works really good. And these barriers, considering there's a strand bear and everything like that this season, to just get absolutely rinsed. It feels really, really strong, guys. That's the video wrapped up. I'm going to leave a dim link and everything in the video description as always. The other thing to mention, I have sort of started streaming now a little bit as well. I did like a short stream yesterday, so big thanks to everyone who popped by there. It was just like a little test stream just to get everything sorted. I seem to have all my sound and everything sorted now, my sort of pictures all working great. So I'm going to be streaming, probably run this build actually on Saturday. I'm going to try some Legend Onslaught with some clan mates, hopefully. So get tuned for that Saturday, probably about 7 PM UK time. If you're about, check me out. Thanks for watching, have a great day.